Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out my channel. Okay, I hope everyone's having a great day and your week has been going good. Please click like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. This week, we're going to talk about Tyler Perry's Sisters. This is season 4. I think it was episode 8. And this is where we start out with the ladies. They're still at the penthouse that Gary bought for Andy. And Karen has shared with them that she's pregnant. They kept pressuring her, trying to get her to drink, and she has not been drinking with them. And they wanted to know why. And so she finally lets it out the bag that she is indeed pregnant. And she's saying that the baby is for Zack. And so they're like, oh, that's why you want Fatima to come over. Because from the previous episode, Karen had asked Andy to have Fatima to come over. So Fatima's on her way over, and then the ladies they get up in arms, worried about what Karen's gonna do because she's always strapping. And not only that, she's always strapped, but not only that, and Fatima, she's almost as worse as Karen. She's always strapped, and she don't play either. So the girls are like, "Oh, what's gonna happen? Where Danny is really silly, so she's like, I don't know where to be for this and all this stuff, and if they should seek shelter because they have the two that's gonna come face to face with each other, and so Fatima arrives and Danny, she tried to do a security search on her. It was funny. So anyway, Fatima arrives and she's dressed in all black and with her boots on. She had mentioned to Zack previously that she did not trust those girls and she didn't know if they were going to try to jump her or whatever. So she came dressed for the occasion. And so Karen confronts her and she lets her know that she is pregnant and that the baby is for Zack. But Fatima, I love her. She's so cool, so calm, so collect. And she said, oh, I know. And they was like, what, you knew? Because the girls was thinking that Zack, knowing the Zack that they know, that he did not tell Fatima. However, it's a different Zack. And as soon as Zack found out from Karen that Karen was pregnant, he went home, and this is exactly how Fatima said it. She said, oh, when you told Zack, Zack came home and he told me. Okay? This is like killing Karen. So Karen, she's taken aback by it that Zack did share the information with Fatima, and this is something that Fatima's been knowing for a while. And so Karen wanted to start lying, saying that Zack's been calling her every day. She was like, oh, but do you know that he calls me every day? And so Fatima was like, well, I have a passcode to his phone. And when I check his phone, I never see your name listed in the call list. And then Karen was like, well, he has a second phone. She was like, yes. Fatima said, yes, he does have a second phone. And I have the passcode to that also. Girl, Karen, stop lying. Stop lying. So, and then Fatima take it further, and she says that pretty much there's going to be a paternity test. She did. And Karen was like, a paternity test? And she was like, yeah, pretty much she said she thinks that's fair to have a paternity test, you know? So, you know, the girls are like, especially Danny, she was like, Karen got the old Zack, and Fatima has the new Zack, and Zack is in love with Fatima. Danny just lets it all out, and Karen, she don't care for it. And they even invite Fatima to stay over. That's with the approval of Karen. And so Karen, she agrees, and they all just sit around and talk about how men can be, like you can train them to be one way and they'll take whatever you train them on to the next woman. But the thing is that when Karen was and Zack was together, it's like Karen, she put Zack down a lot. And of course, Zack, he was doing a lot of stuff that he shouldn't have been doing. But it's like Karen kind of got carried away with the way she would bash Zack. And Fatima, she's totally different. Of course, she has not had to deal with Zack's crap, but she's been encouraging him from day one. She's been encouraging him to really grow into his potential. And a lot has changed for Zack, and he's like he really appreciate that. I have brothers, and I've seen this, and I have other guys in my family, and even from dating myself, being married and all that. I know, and I feel the same way that we really have to encourage and uplift our men, not to excuse them, because some of them can be low down dirty dogs, but things do go much. That's with anything and anyone, but particular our men. It's good that we encourage them, but as I mentioned before, it's for anyone and anything, because just like with a parent and their child, encouragement means a lot, you know. um so it's the same in any type of relationship, no matter what the magnitude of the relationship. It's good to encourage each other. Okay, so they have their what they call it, kumbaya moment or whatever. So they're chill. Everybody knows that Karen's pregnant. Don't know who the baby's for, even though she says for Zack. And the preacher guy, he really wants it to be his baby. He's been checking the calendar and all that. And he even called Karen with the information that he's been checking the calendar and he thinks it may be his baby. But I think Karen really wants it to be Zack's baby. We'll see who the baby turns out to be. But Karen haven't even been to the doctor yet. She's like a home pregnancy test, which she said she took took three tests. So, excuse me. All right, so we move on and we have Zack, who's at his new place, and he's there it appears that he's painting the walls or whatever. And so he receives a call from Gary. Well, prior to that, we have Fatima, who makes it back home, and she gives Zack an update about the girls and everything. And then Zack shares with her about Gary, how Gary was trying to get Zack to have Fatima, be chill with Gary, so maybe Fatima can help Gary get back with Andy or whatever. And then Zack also shared with Fatima about Gary and the guy Jake trying to help him with his stock portfolio or whatever. And so Fatima's just like, don't even trust those guys. I like Fatima. She really looks out for Zack. So then we have Zack at his house. And while he's there, he receives a call from Gary, and Gary's let him know that he's gonna have Jake to come over. I don't know what's going on with this earring. So once Zack and Gary hang up, and Gary's in his office, lo and behold, it was so funny. It's so funny to see it. Lo and behold, we have Hayden come hopping in Gary's office. Y'all, this is a trip. This man has been beat. He got his behind beat really bad, and he's still on crutches. So he come hopping in Gary's office, and we find out that Gary has Hayden keeping tabs on Andy in the office. Gary wants to know if the guy, I think that's the owner of the firm, I cannot remember his name, if he's still around. Hayden lets him know that he's gone. And so he's telling Hayden to continue to keep tabs on Andy. So Andy's even being watched at work. This is so crazy. Like, how far are you going to take this character of Gary Tyler Perry? So then we have Hayden also asking Gary about Zack. So it's like Gary has Zack watching Andy, and Hayden has Gary looking into Zack, trying to see how he can bring Zack down. Especially with the stock, because Zack's been making that money. It's really, really crazy. Like, is there no end to Hayden? Oh my goodness. So, Gary's partner, friend, whatever, Jake comes in, and he's even surprised that Hayden is there, and he's surprised that Gary has Hayden checking into Andy, and Jack is just like, all this stuff is just crazy, and how you gonna have somebody watching somebody at work, So Gary trying to make sense out of it, but there ain't no sense made out of that. So then we have the guy Jake. He goes over to Zack, and they're going over the portfolio. Well, they're talking about the stocks, and he's trying to get more information from Zack about how he knew. That's the question, like how you knew to invest in that particular stock that he got all the money from. And we know how Zack got the information, but Zack don't want to let them know how he got the information. And so while he's there talking to him, I think it's the FBI rolled up on Zack, and they arrest him. So that's pretty much how the episode ended. So we'll see what happens with Zack. And Zack is off to jail again. I'm tired of Zack going to jail. I really hope these work out for him. But yeah, that was pretty much the episode, and that's it. Oh, and then they go back to Andy in the penthouse. I'm over that scene, Tyler Perry. Let's move on from the penthouse. How Gary is just doing so much. He's so in love with her, and I don't know. Eh, just change it. It's just too much. Oh, this earring. I'm gonna have to look into it because I just bought these. Anyway, thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. I really like this Tyler Perry Sisters. It's really good. This is even better. There's a lot that could be added, or it could be improved, but it's really good. And then especially compared to And Just Like That, what was that, Sex in the City? I don't know what they had going on, but that was not a good. And I like the original Sex in the City, and I like all the movies, but the And Just Like That, Sex in the City, that was on HBO Max, it wasn't a good look. The writing was terrible. Did not make sense to me. So Tyler Perry, you're winning on this one. This was really good. So I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen next with Zack going to jail, how he's going to get out of that, to see about the baby, if Karen is truly pregnant, because she has not been to the doctor, and who's the baby's daddy, because she slept with Zack and she slept with the preacher guy. And we also had an incident, a scene with Maurice and the guy that got out of jail, who shows up at the bank. But I'm not interested in that. Sometimes I think Maurice overacts. He needs to tone it down. So I don't know. I really didn't pay attention to that one. But thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. I hope you continue to have a great day, a blessed day, and I'll chat with you guys later. Bye.